We're going to be doing an activity today called dimensional dice. This is going to help us be able to achieve our objective, which is to be able to convert between units of measurement. First, I want to talk about what's going to be in this video. I'm going to review how to do dimensional analysis, and then we're going to talk specifically about the dimensional dice activity. First, I'd like to point out that dimensional analysis is a problem-solving method. You have a starting amount, you have an ending unit, and you have conversion factors that connect them. Those conversion factors are all equalities. Here's an example. We have a problem where you have 25 quarters and you want to convert it to dimes. Well, the starting amount is 24 quarters. Sorry, it's 24 quarters. The ending unit is dimes, and we have our equality that 4 quarters is equal to 10 dimes. You can either look that up or you can know it off the top of your head. Don't calculate it. Conversion factors can be turned into fractions where either 4 quarters is going to be over 10 dimes or 10 dimes is going to be over 4 quarters. The most useful one is going to be the one that cancels the unit that we need to cancel. So I'm going to set up my dimensional analysis work here where I'm going to put 24 quarters over 1. You always put your starting amount over 1. And then I'm going to multiply by the conversion factor. Well, the one that I pick is not going to be that one because dimes doesn't cancel quarters. Instead, this one right here, quarters cancel quarters. So I'm going to want to put 4 quarters on the bottom because that's what's in the equality. And it's equal to 10 dimes, which is why I put 10 dimes on the top. So you can see here that quarters cancels quarters. It's all one big fraction. And then you go and you do your math by multiplying across the numerator. That's 240. Dimes is left, so we need to write dimes, over, multiply across the denominator. 1 times 4 is 4. 240 divided by 4 is 60, and the unit that's left is dimes. So that's the answer. 24 quarters is equal to 60 dimes. Let's talk about dimensional dice now. You're going to get one pair of dice at a time. One of the die will have numbers, one will have question marks. There's 4 different colors. They are different units. If you're having a hard time with this, you can do the time dice, which is the orange dice. You did time for your homework. You also are going to need your conversion sheet, and you need to remember to write all your work in your notebook. All right, here's how you do a problem. First, you roll your dice. You're not allowed to re-roll unless the units are the same. For instance, if you're asked for meters and you have a number of meters, meters to meters isn't a real problem, so you need to re-roll. Otherwise, don't re-roll. You're going to do all your problems in your notebook by labeling the dice color, drawing the dice, looking up conversion factors, writing your dimensional analysis work, solving and writing your answer. You're going to do 4 problems from one set of dice, then you're going to pick up the answer key and check your answers. We're going to look at an example now. I'm going to roll my dice. I used the green dice and I rolled 337 inches and question mark miles. MI is miles. So I'm going to write in my notebook the green dice, and I'm going to draw the dice, and then I'm going to do the problem. I need to grab my conversion card. This is the green set conversions. These are the only conversions I'm allowed to use for this problem. Then I'm going to go and start my conversion. Well, I have my starting amount. I have the unit that I want, and I need to look over here to see which conversions would be useful to me. Well, inches appears in this conversion and this conversion. Miles only appears in this conversion, so I have to use this one if I want to get to miles. So then I just need to choose between my inches conversion. Which one is most useful to me? Is it going to be the one to centimeters, or is it going to be the one to feet? I think feet will let me get closer to miles because feet shows up in the miles conversion. So I'm going to need to use 2 conversion factors in this problem. Now let's set up the math. 337 inches goes over 1. That's the starting amount. I want to use my first conversion. This is the one where I want to cancel inches, so I need to use this one. And I want to put 12 inches in the denominator because inches has to cancel. And the other side of the equal sign is 1 foot. So I'm going to put 1 foot in the numerator. Let's remind ourselves that the numerator is equal to the denominator in this fraction. Inches cancels inches. If I stop my math here, I'd be in feet. I don't want to be in feet, I want to be in miles. So I need to continue one more conversion, and this time cancel feet. Now I'm going to put 5,280 feet in the denominator, and I'm going to put 1 mile in the numerator. Now feet cancels feet, and I'm left with only miles as my answer, and that's the answer I want. To do this math, I need to multiply across the numerator. I get 337 miles. And I need to multiply across the denominator. When I multiply 12 times 5,280, I get 6360. That's the only thing that remains in the denominator. All units in the denominator have been canceled. Finally, I need to divide in order to get my final answer. It's 0.00595 miles. Does it make sense that 337 inches is equal to a very small number of miles? Yeah, I think that makes sense. These are my expectations. I expect that you get 6 total problems done today. 4 from a dice, check your answer key, and then at least 2 more from a second color of dice. I expect that you work in groups of no more than 3 people. I expect that everybody does the problem at the same time and nobody copies after someone else is done. You can only get the answer key after you finish those 4 problems. And don't hog dice. There's not enough to go around if someone grabs more than one set. You can only have either one set of dice or one answer key. And please return all dice at the end. If you do those 6 total problems, you should keep going because by Friday you need 12 total problems done. If you don't get them done in class, then you're going to need to do the rest for homework. So you're going to need to get 12 total problems done by Friday. By the way, I expect a mix of short and long conversions. That'll happen naturally as long as you don't re-roll if you think the problem's too hard.